we're back. NWA Main Event back on the air, the Ion Network. You know, Tyler, it's the only wrestling company on network television in Nashville, and we've got Magnum Shane Smalls taking on Aiden Scott.
Aiden Scott, still somewhat of a newcomer here in Main Event, looking to make a name for himself, and what a better way to do it than to try to knock off the former TV champion himself, Shane Smalls.
Well, nonetheless, we have seen both of these two in the ring together before. If you remember the shows from the 2008 Tennessee State Fair that NWA Main Event brought to you, we know our viewers out there, our critics love those shows. These two, Shane Smalls and Aiden Scott, both wrestled each other on those shows.
I do remember those shows very well. I had the privilege of calling those, and Shane Smalls had the privilege of an armbar, but for not very long, as Aiden Scott quickly turns the tables.
And if you notice, Shane Smalls wearing yet another new pair of wrestling gear, and I believe Shane Smalls needs to be inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records on the number of wrestling attire he has.
I've got to think he must listen. Ooh. Whoa! There isn't a pair of trunks in the world that can save him from a drop kick like that.
A drop kick to the side of the head, and you can tell that shot rocked the world of Shane Smalls.
He's complaining about a loaded boot, but any kind of foot right there to the face by Aiden Scott, my goodness.
Unbelievable, impressive maneuver from Aiden Scott, and dead-on precision right to the temple of Shane Smalls.
It looks like the Magnum one has recollected himself and ready to start back his game plan in this match, but that's not working.
Aiden Scott, a little impressive information you might not have known, actually trained under the true legend in Nashville, Tony Falk.
Tony Falk, and an arm drag there by Aiden Scott, and a boot to the midsection. Oh, but he gets caught, and he's folded over in half with a devastating powerbomb. It could be over.
Well, apparently Tony Falk never taught him how to get out of that maneuver. Shane Smalls now on the offensive onto young Aiden Scott. Off the ropes and drops a devastating elbow across the throat of Scott.
And there you see, we've seen in recent weeks the tenacious, relentless pin attempts from Shane Smalls, and every chance he gets, he has become all business in that ring.
It's like a trance came over Shane Smalls, and he's just, it's like he's been brainwashed into nothing but competition, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
It's certainly, I mean, the focus has been shifted. I know in past weeks we've certainly enjoyed making light at some of the antics of Shane Smalls, some of the attitudes, some of the ring gear, but plain and simple, this guy's a wrestler and he is a gamer. He brings his A game, and Aiden Scott is finding that out the hard way right now.
Aiden Scott, maybe he's going to rethink things. Maybe he doesn't want to come to NWA Main Event anymore, and I wouldn't after that one.
Goodness, draped across the middle rope, all the way to Shane Smalls, folds him over like the power bomb again. Aiden Scott gets out that time. Shane Smalls asked him, "Why won't you die?"
Well, I believe there's too much fight in Aiden Scott to ever so-called die, as Smalls said, but a couple more of those eye rakes right in front of the referee, and this one could be over.
That's every man has at least one weak spot, and that is, well, two weak spots, his left eye and his right eye. He placed him up on the top, but Aiden Scott fighting back. Now Shane Smalls has about fireman's carry. What's he going to do here, Jason? Spinning around, trying to death belly driver. Aiden Scott landed on his feet. He didn't land on his feet that time, Jason.
Absolutely not. He landed on the back of his head, but he's able to kick out.
Aiden Scott kicking out after the spine on the pine. Shane Smalls starting to look a little frustrated at the fact that he didn't put Aiden Scott away.
Unbelievable X Division action in the ring, and you know, we've been told that the X Division title will soon make a reappearance here in NWA Main Event, and these two are definitely contenders.
Absolutely. There's not a belt in all of the National Wrestling Alliance that Shane Smalls is not in contention for. And Aiden Scott certainly said, we heard him the first time he was on this TV show, he's here to to bring a shot of life into the X Division. Reversal, and the lack of stature of Aiden Scott may have helped him there as Shane Smalls went right over the top of him.
And our cameraman is scurrying to try to get you a better shot of this one.
There's action flying everywhere, though. I don't know if he'll quite be able to catch up every time. Aiden Scott now slowly, in contrast to the rest of the action of this match, making his way to the top rope. And wait. That's the Colossal one.
What is he doing out here?
Colossal Chris Kane just threw Aiden Scott. He landed on his head, Jason.
What is going on? And no! Tell me no, he did not win this way.
Magnum Shane Smalls with the primary assist from Colossal Chris Kane is your winner.
NWA TV again, and this time I went for the title. Steve-O, you got by again. You get by on Shane, and you get by on me. But this time, Aiden Scott, you put your nose in my business. And I'm about sick and tired of people putting their nose in my business. So come Tuesday night, Steve-O, Aiden Scott, you want to get rowdy, you want to get in the ring? Why don't you get in the ring with Shane Smalls and myself? Because it's going to go down Tuesday night at the fairgrounds. Ain't that right?
Aiden, I can understand being a young guy, wanting to make an impact. You picked the wrong guy. Accept losses. They happen, especially when you face me. On to bigger fish, Steve-O, you still haven't gotten away from me. And me and Chris are going to prove why we are the most dominant wrestlers in the NWA.
Main Event Wrestling, in conjunction with the National Wrestling Alliance, brings to you the greatest annual wrestling spectacle to ever hit Nashville, Tennessee. It's Tennessee Homecoming 2008, only at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds Sports Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, Thursday, November 27th. Thanksgiving night, the main event has already been signed. It's going to be a 2-ring battle royal. Only NWA Main Event could bring you a match of this caliber. More details to be released on that in coming weeks, including a major announcement from NWA Commissioner George Goulis. Don't you dare miss it. Thanksgiving night, November 27th at the Mecca, Tennessee Homecoming 2008. And remember, if it's not NWA, it's not professional wrestling. Be there!